Hello, my name is Chike Onya. I am a resilience practitioner and a lawyer. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the meaning of this word resilience. I love the concept of resilience. I've studied it for many years of my life. And I can say this with absolute certainty. This is my own opinion. Resilience is the number one skill in the world today. Think about the world we live in today. Think about the difficulties financially that people are going through globally today and all over the world. People are suffering. People are in need. People are in want, right? And people's businesses are not doing as well as they ought to do at this point in time. The different economies are struggling for one reason or the other. And people have financial issues. There's no doubt about it. Now, in times like this, in times of financial difficulty, resilience becomes critical in our lives. It really does. Now, what is resilience? I've read so many books on resilience. I've lived for 57 years of my life. I've practiced resilience. I'm a resilience practitioner. But one of the books that I read that really revolutionized my life is the book written by the Harvard Business Press. The book titled Emotional Intelligence with a subtitle Resilience. And in that book, the first article from the Harvard Business Press is an article written by Diane Kutu. The title of that article, How Resilience Works. And that article really amazed me. I've gone back to read it several times. And listen to me, in that article, Diane Kutu, she says that there are many theories of resilience out there, but I want to quote her. She says, most of the resilience theories I encountered in my research make good common sense. But I also observed that almost all the theories overlap in three ways. That's Diane Kutu. And she now tells me, as the reader, she says, resilient people, they possess three characteristics. Number one, a staunch acceptance of reality. Number two, a deep belief, often buttressed by strongly held values, that life is meaningful. And thirdly, an uncanny ability to improvise. I want to repeat that. Number one, a staunch acceptance of reality. Number two, a deep belief, often buttressed by strongly held values, that life is meaningful. And number three, an uncanny ability to improvise. I want us to look at these three characteristics of resilient people as written out articulately, enumerated in this article by Diane Kutu, the Harvard Business Review. I love this article. She did a very good job here. So let's take them one at a time. The first is resilient people have this deeply rooted conviction, this staunch acceptance within them that whatever they face, they have to go head on with it. You got to accept it. You got to deal with it. So let's take a man whose business is not doing very well in this economy. Let's take a man who's not able to pay his children's school fees. Let's take a man who's not able to pay his rent. Let's take a woman who's lost her job. Let's take a woman who has gone through a poor performance appraisal, an annual appraisal, and she's done poorly. The first thing resilient people do is to really accept that reality. I have a poor appraisal this year. That doesn't mean that you're not going to feel emotions. It doesn't mean that. You're going to feel sad. You're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel hurt. You may even cry. Resilient people feel pain. You can't run away from it, right? But to be resilient, to be tough, to bounce back, the first thing you must do is to have this staunch acceptance of reality. The man whose business is not doing well, the guy who has lost a job, somebody going through a bitter divorce, somebody who cannot pay the child's school fees, the first thing you have to do is that you have to accept the reality of it. You see, the opposite of that is to deny the facts. The opposite of that is to stick your head into the sun like an ostrich and behave that nothing is happening. Or you might just decide to suppress your emotions and not talk about your issues. That's wrong. That's not what resilient people do. The second thing they do very well, I want to turn it around for a minute. Let's go to the second element, which is the uncanny ability to improvise. The word uncanny, I love that word. mysterious and excellent ability to improvise, to take the resources at hand and to make do with those resources. So, for example, you get a poor appraisal at work. Well, you can do better next year. You have to try again. Your business is not doing well. You have to try again. You have to go out and look for new customers. You got to have a different marketing strategy. There's something you're going to do about it, right? You've lost a job. Well, look for another job. Start a business. You can never quit. There's always a way out. And then finally, the third thing about resilient people is that they have this belief that life is meaningful. Usually that belief that life is meaningful is buttressed by some core values. A value, for example, of family. You still have family. You have somebody that you need to live for. You can't give up in life. You can't give up. So let's summarize again from Diane Kutu's article that changed my life. Number one, resilient people have this staunch acceptance of reality. They don't deny the facts. They confront the brutal facts. Like that book, Good to Great. I talked about it in one of my videos. Confront the facts. Go head on. Number two, they have this uncanny, mysterious ability to improvise. And number three, they believe that life has meaning, usually buttressed by deeply held core values. Right? Thank you for listening, and God bless you.